So the first fragrance on this list is from the House of Creed, and no, it is not Creed Aventus. I mean, don't get me wrong, Aventus is a great fragrance, but I assume that you've heard of it. Now, you see, the angle of today's video is to share with you fragrances you probably have never heard of that are amazing. And Aventus Cologne, a lighter, brighter, more citrus-based version of Creed Aventus, almost made the list. So to start things off today, I wanted to bring in a fragrance that's a little bit more old school cool. That being said, I know a lot of you guys want more modern fragrances, so I'm not going to bring in fragrances that came out in the 1980s. No, instead, I'm going to bring out something that's pretty recent. Any of you frag heads out there, can you guess where I'm going with this? So the first fragrance on today's list, gentlemen, is a 2021 release from the House of Creed, and that is Viking Cologne. The top notes here are mandarin orange, lemon, pink pepper, and bergamot. The middle notes, lavender, geranium, rosemary, sage, and nutmeg. At the base, vetiver, sandalwood, cedar, albanum, and patchouli. So despite this being the latest release from one of the most well-known fragrance houses in the world, this fragrance has really flown under the radar. And a big part of that is because all of the hate that Viking received from Creed fans. A lot of people were expecting this to be an Aventus killer. It went in a totally different direction. Really old school, a strong aromatic, a bit too spicy for a lot of people. Next up, we've got the House of Tom Ford. And what I love about this brand, what Tom Ford does so well, is the way they blend the ingredients, the way that their fragrances are just so complex and absolutely beautiful. This one right here, 2007 release, I saw in a duty free the other day. I'm like, hey, I don't have that in my collection. Picked it up and yes, smelt it, citrus, woody, a bit of aromatic. This is a beautiful fragrance, but don't grab this one because it doesn't last, but probably a couple hours. Now I say that because when it comes to Tom Ford, I think you're best served going with his darker, heavier, richer fragrances. And he's got plenty of them. If you look in their special blend collection, I've talked about my love for Black Orchid, but let's bring in one that you probably haven't heard of. Now, Ombre Leather, you've probably seen, the original EDP. That one's been out for a while. The new Parfum. This one you can see in box stores. I almost slept on this one. This is a beautiful blend, and it came so close to being the fragrance I recommend, but I think a lot of you guys are familiar with this one and highly recommended. Get your nose on it. It's better than the EDP. This one a little bit harsh. This one smooth, absolutely beautiful. Now, gentlemen, the Tom Ford I'm going to recommend, if you like leather with a bit of sweetness, check out Tuscan Leather. I know this one's been out since 2007, but Tuscan Leather, for some reason, I resisted. I saw a lot of people saying, hey, not too hard to wear. Guys, get your nose on this thing. For me, it was the raspberries. They came out so well right there at the top. Then you've got the suede, you've got the leather at the base. Yes, like all Tom Fords, it's a complex fragrance. The top notes are raspberry, saffron, thyme. In the middle, albanum, jasmine. At the base, leather, suede, wood, and amber. For years, I skipped on this fragrance. I heard it was a little bit harsh, hard to wear. Guys, definitely get your nose on this before purchasing, but the raspberries just did it for me. And I've got a few leather fragrances that I like to wear. This one all of a sudden went to the top because of the sweetness, the wearability, and nothing against Ombre Leather. That Parfum was really close, but this one I think a lot of people are sleeping on, so that's why I'm putting it on this list. Now at this point, some of you guys may be thinking, come on, Antonio, give me a fragrance I haven't heard of that isn't going to break the bank. Something a little bit more affordable. Gents, if you're looking for a fragrance that's unique, that's going to get you compliments, the ladies are going to love it, check out Blue Atlas's Atlantis. Now the top notes here are bergamot, lemon, and black currant. In the middle, we've got lavender, clary sage, peach, and apricot. At the base, we have orris, oak moss, violet, ambrette seed, and musk. Now, gents, you guys know me. I'm always transparent. Today's video is sponsored by Blue Atlas. That being said, I've had this fragrance now for probably 4 months. I've worn it at least a dozen times, and I have to say it is a beautiful fragrance. What I love about this is the unique notes, the peach and the apricot right there. This really sets it apart, and it makes it very attractive. You're going to get compliments from the ladies. Another thing I love about it, it's very versatile. You could wear this for seasons. Projection is decent for the first hour, 1 to 2 feet. After that, it's going to become a skin scent. I do find when I spray on the back of the neck, probably about 4 to 5 times in the chest area, I get about 5 to 7 hours of wear out of this. It isn't a fragrance I'm going to pick on my clothing the next day, which I appreciate because sometimes you want to wear a different fragrance the next day and not still smell it on your clothing. Now, the bottle uses a pressure sensitized atomizer. Basically, they spent extra money to make sure that whenever you spray this, you can actually control the amount that's being sprayed out. It also comes in a beautiful package, and it even has a fancy magnetic cap. Seriously, gents, if you want a fragrance that's going to stand out from the crowd, get you compliments, and smell amazing, versatile, check out Atlantis by Blue Atlas. Down in the description of today's video, I've got the best deal on the web for you. Make sure to go down there in the description, use that link, use that discount code when you go over to Blue Atlas. Now, what about a designer fragrance that nobody's wearing, nobody's talking about? Well, it's not going to be Italian Love. This one is beautiful. I love the grapefruit note. I thought it was redundant to Forever, but there's just something to do. This one's growing on me, but it's not the one I'm going to recommend. So what about Dolce & Gabbana's 2014 release, Intenso? Almost made the list. I love this fragrance. It's grown on me, and it's the hay note that really sets it apart. But if you're looking for something that's an aromatic with a bit of lavender, spicy, great for the fall, winter, spring, this fragrance, yeah, was so close to being on the list. Now, the fragrance I'm going to be talking about is not this one. It's a flanker of Dolce & Gabbana's The One, which should be pretty much in everybody's collection if you want a sweet winter amber fragrance. Absolutely beautiful. No, the fragrance I'm talking about today is Dolce & Gabbana's 2018 release, The One Gray. Top notes are grapefruit, cardamom, coriander, and basil. In the middle, clary sage, lavender, geranium. At the base, vetiver, tobacco, patchouli, and labdanum. So the best way I can describe this fragrance is it has the original DNA of The One, but it's stronger, it's more vetiver based, it's a clean linen fragrance. This one right here is going to be better for warm weather. It's still deep, rich, and I think is an incredibly underrated fragrance that nobody else is wearing. Longevity and projection is solid. It leans masculine. And again, if you're in a room with 100 people, I can tell you that nobody else is going to be rocking this fragrance. Now, what if you don't want to rock the boat? You want to stick close to home. And you already have gotten your nose on Bleu de Chanel, the EDT, the classic, and you love it. But you want something different. Now, when a fragrance sells really well, like Bleu de Chanel did, they oftentimes bring in a variation. They take that eau de toilette, which is a concentration anywhere of 5 to 15% perfume oil mixed in with alcohol. And they say, wait, let's go with something a little bit stronger, an eau de parfum. And that's where they take 15 to 20% fragrance oil and mix it with alcohol. So a little bit heavier, a little bit stronger. Sometimes they mess with the formula just a bit like they did with this one. But in this case, the eau de parfum is absolutely beautiful. Stronger, a little bit richer, heavier than the original. It doesn't last longer for some reason, but it is really nice. But if you're watching this video, you don't want really nice. You want the great stuff. So let's go above a 20% concentration. We get a parfum, 25% probably in this case. And I have to say that this fragrance right here is the pinnacle of the Bleu de Chanel line. Yeah, the EDT started it all, but the parfum perfected it. This is going to be the smoothest, deepest, richest. And if you want to grab a fragrance that is familiar, but nobody is rocking, guys, grab the parfum. It's going to be a little bit pricier, but what you get here is a smoother, deeper, richer, just absolutely beautiful classic fragrance. The top notes are going to be lemon zest, bergamot, mint, and artemisia. In the middle, we've got lavender, pineapple, geranium, and green notes. At the base, sandalwood, cedar, amberwood, iso e-super, and tonka bean. I've seen people just describe this fragrance as the perfect scent. If God were to wear a fragrance, he would wear this one. I don't know about that, but I will say that this is a masterpiece, absolutely beautiful fragrance you should get your nose on. And gents, if you've ever worn a fragrance that is so powerful it sets off smoke alarms, do me a favor and smash the like button. Now, let's say you've already got a few fragrances in your collection. Maybe you love Dior Sauvage, and this is a solid fragrance, especially if you want to attract the ladies, you want to get compliments, but let's face it, everybody is wearing this one. Now, if you like Sauvage, but you want something deeper, richer, heavier, with a little bit of a licorice note, definitely check out Elixir. This one is beautiful, but come on, again, everyone has heard of this one. Now, gents, for this fragrance, let's go back in time to 1966. See, this is the Sauvage, Eau Sauvage, that actually put Dior on the map for men. Men like Alain Delon loved this fragrance. Absolutely beautiful. It's a classic citrus. But again, you want something that's a little bit more modern. Then check out 2017's Eau Sauvage Parfum. Yes, this one was released just a few years ago, and nobody seems to talk about it. It has the classic DNA with a modern twist. Top notes are going to be citron, bergamot, lavender. In the middle, Haitian vetiver, and at the base, elamai. A citrus aromatic, fresh, spicy, woody fragrance. This one right here, if I had to describe it, a James Bond fragrance, a modern James Bond fragrance. And that's where I love this. They took the classic citrus DNA. This is going to smell old school. At the same time, it's not going to smell dated. 100% masculine. Another great thing, most citrus fragrances don't last. This one has staying power. And what if you want a designer fragrance that's going to be syrupy, that's going to be sweet, that's going to get you compliments all night long? Definitely Paco Rabanne's Elixir is at the top of that list. But a lot of you guys are seeing this. It's all over the place. And I think it actually buried a fragrance that was released like a year or two before this one, and that is Paco Rabanne's 1 Million Parfum. Now, the 1 Million line in general is going to be too sweet for a lot of guys, but the thing with sweet fragrances is the ladies love them, and if you can pull it off, if you don't mind projecting a bit more, drawing a few eyes here or there, these are such great fragrances, especially for the young man. However, the Parfum, I think, is a little bit lighter, especially with that white floral in there. And this one is great, even if you're in your 40s or 50s. You should check this one out. Now, the notes are tuberose, ambergris, salt, solar, leather, mannoia oil, cashmeron, labdanum, and pine. Sexy, sweet, yummy. This one doesn't have the same longevity. I mean, it's still got great longevity. We're talking probably 7+ hours. But a lot of Paco Rabannes, these things last on you for 2 to 3 days. That being said, I like this one's a little bit lighter. You still get the sweetness. At the same time, it's not cloying, it's not overpowering. Now, the next fragrance on this list is interesting because it sits there on department stores, yet I don't think it really moves that much. Everyone sees it, but a lot of guys don't even realize it's a men's fragrance because they see the whole Tiffany and Company. Now, the fragrance I'm talking about here is Tiffany in Love for Him by Tiffany. So this fragrance came out in 2019. Top notes are going to be mandarin orange, ginger, and cardamom. In the middle, we've got cypress and juniper. And at the base, vetiver, sequoia, and sandalwood. This fragrance has a strong citrus opening. What's interesting is the dry down. I actually like it. Again, a bit of a metallic note here. Some people have compared this to a fresh version of Bleu de Chanel. And I'm not going to argue. Look at that EDT. If you wanted something that's a little bit less blue, something that's more fresh with citrus, this may be the fragrance you're looking for. And what I love about that is it's incredibly versatile. You can dress this thing up, you can dress it down. This is going to be perfect for the hotter weather. Yeah, just a really nice fragrance. Maybe the only place it really wouldn't fit is during the winter. And gents, I want to stress, you're going to see some negative reviews out there, but just get your nose on this, try it yourself. And what I find is that it's got a beautiful dry down. I actually like the citrus opening, and there's just something different. It reminds me of Hermes, Terre d'Hermes. That one right there just gets compliments left and right. There's something about that fragrance. The same thing with this one. Next up, let's talk about Prada's 2021 release, Luna Rossa Ocean. I have to admit that I bought this one when it first came out, and I wasn't that impressed. I guess I was expecting something to do with the ocean. Instead, what I got was a very versatile blue fragrance, which again, I was looking for salty notes. I didn't expect what I got my nose on, but if you go into this understanding what you're getting, which is an incredibly versatile fragrance from the House of Prada, this one again is flying under the radar. No one seems to be talking about it anymore. The top notes are going to be bergamot, pink pepper, and artemisia. In the middle, we've got lavender, iris, sage, suede, and saffron. At the base, musk, Haitian vetiver, patchouli, and caramel. Like I said, this one has grown on me. I've worn it probably a half dozen times in the last 6 months. And the more I wear it, the more I just start to pick up that caramel note. So I didn't expect it from a soapy, clean, fresh fragrance with a bit of floral in there, all of a sudden to pick up that just sweet caramel at the base. So for that reason, I got to put this on there, guys. Get your nose on it. A really nice fragrance. Now, gents, there were a lot of fragrances in today's video I did not have time to get to. So guess what? Down in the comments of today's video, I want to hear from you. What are the top fragrances that you absolutely love that nobody seems to be wearing that gets you compliments? Guys, I want to hear them down below. Come on, share the knowledge, share the info. I'll get down there, give some hearts. I love hearing from you guys. And yeah, both of these amazing fragrances I just didn't have time to cover. All right, gentlemen, so what video to watch next? How about how to make your fragrance last all day? Seriously, guys, you follow these hacks, you follow these tricks, your fragrance is going to last 1, 2, yeah, probably longer than what you intend. But no, seriously, it's a good video. How to make your fragrance last forever, for at least a long time. Click on it, guys. Go check out. It's a good video.